Okay, I'm having a look at a grade 8 revision sheet. So this is revising our directed numbers, decimals, and a bit of fractions. And so having a look at the first ones here, we've got evaluating. So we've got 5 take away 8. Now you might know that the answer straight away is -3, or you might do a bit of a number line to help you out and have your 5. So we're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. And you might start at 5 and go down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we've got 10 plus -8. Now we know we can write that as 10 take away 8 if we have those two signs there. And we know that 10 take away 8 is equal to 2. Over here we've got -16 plus 22. So we know that if we're down at -16 and we come up 22 places, 16 takes us to 0, and then we've got another 6 would take us up to, like from the 22, give us 6 there. We're trying to do most of these without our calculator when we do these type of questions to show that understanding. Here we've got multiplying. Now we know that we've got a negative times a positive, we're going to have a negative answer, and 5 times 7 is 35. Here we've got divided by, and we know we've got a negative divided by a negative, so we know our answer is going to be positive, and 28 divided by 4 is 7. Here we've got our order of operations type questions. So we're looking across the line, we can see we've got a subtraction and we've got a multiply, and we've got two numbers in the brackets. So we're going to start with the brackets. -7 plus 3 is going to give us -4. Then we've got our 8 take -2. And so then we're going to do our multiply next. -2 times -4 is going to give us +8. So we have 8 take away 8 is equal to 0. And then we've got our another one over here. So looking across the line, we've got a multiply, we've got a divided by, and we've got another multiplication there. So if they are all like the multiplying and the dividing, they've got the same kind of weighting in order of what we do them. So then we just work from left to right. So -3 times 10 would equal -30. Then we're going to divide that by -5 and then times it by -9. So the -3 divided by -5 will give us +6. And when we're going to multiply that by -9, which will give us -54. Then we've got here where we're substituting into an expression. So we've been told a equals -2 and b equals -3. So we've got -2 plus 3 lots of -3. Now 3 lots of -3 is going to be -9. -2 plus -9 will be -11. Then we've got here b squared minus 2a plus 5. So our b squared is going to be our -3 squared. And we're taking away 2 times -2 plus 5. Now our -3 squared is going to be 9, because -3 times -3 is +9. Here we've got 2 times -2, which is -4 plus 5. Now -4 plus 5 is going to be +1. So we've got 9 take 1 is equal to 8. Here we've got some decimals, and we're adding our decimals. So what we can do is line them up and add down the page. So we've got 14.26, 9.7, and 0.059. So we just have to line up those decimal points. We've got nothing, so 0 is above here, so we've got 9. Here we've got the 5 and 6 is 11, carry the 1. 2 and 7 is 9, plus 1 is 10, so we put down the 0, carry the 1. 1 and 4 is 5, and 9 is 14, carry the 1 and 2, so we get 24.019. Over here we've got a subtraction, so we've got our 10.27, and we're subtracting 8.533. So we've got 0 take away 3. We can't do that, so what we need to do is bring a 10 over here. So we're taking 1 from there, making it a 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. 6 take away 3 is 3. 2 take away 5 I can't do, so I'm going to trade 1 here. Then I've got to make that a 9, and then I bring that over here as a 12. So 12 take away 5 is 7. 9 take away 8 is 1. Then we've got a multiply, so we're going to treat that like a 2-digit multiplication. So we're going to ignore all the decimals and then put in 3 at the end, because we've got 1, 2, 3. So 684, we're going to multiply that by 37. So we've got our 7 times 4 is 28, put down the 8, carry the 2. 7 8s are 56 and 2 is 58, carry the 5. 7 6s are 42 and 5 is 47. Then we've got 3 times 4 is 12, put down the 2, carry the 1. 3 8s are 24 and 1 is 25. 3 6s are 18 and 2 is 20. So then we've got 8, we've got a 10, we've got 7 plus 5 is 12 and 1 is 13. 1 and 4 is 5 and a 2. So I've got 25,308 and I had 3 decimal places, so I get 25.308. Now I'm also thinking when I do this, I've got 6.84 just to make sure I've got the right zone for my answer. 6.84, I could round that to 7, and 3.7 I could round up to 4. 7 times 4 is 28. I've got 25, which makes sense because it's less than, because I had less than 7 and less than 4. Always do a little mental check with rounding that it works. Over here I've got 19.54 divided by 0.8. So I'm going to make that, I'm going to move my decimal place 1 place there, which means I need to move my decimal place along that way. So I've got 195.4 and I'm dividing by 8. So 8 goes into 9, so 8 can't go into 1, so I go 8 goes into 19 twice with 3 left over. 35 divided by 8 is going to be 4 with 3 left over. And then 34 divided by 8 is going to be 4 with 2 left over. Oops. 8 goes into 20 twice with 4 left over. And then 8 goes into 40 5 times. Now I just line up my decimal place. So I get 24.425. And then I've got here as number 6, give an example of each of these. A recurring decimal might be something like 0.3, and I can put the dot there, or I could do 0.333 and little dots to show that it keeps going. A terminating decimal means that it stops, so I could have something like 0.125, I could have 5.7, anything where it stops rather than the recurring. Then we've got another set of decimal type questions, but this one is saying calculate and round to 2 decimal places. So looking at this first one, I'm assuming they want you to round to decimal places and then do the question, because otherwise we've got quite a big lot of multiplying there. So I'm going to round that to, so I've already got 6.84. I'm going to round that to 3 that would be 74. I'm going to assume in this one we can use our calculator because otherwise there's a lot of calculations there. I'm going to grab my calculator. Okay, so got the calculator and I've got 6.84 times 3.743, and that is going to give me, I've got 25.60212, and then I want to round it to do 2 decimal places, so that will give me 25.60 for my rounding, because I would look at that critical digit of 2 and that would tell me to round down. The reason I'm assuming this is a calculator question, even though it doesn't say it there, is because we don't expect you to do the 3-digit multiplication. Here we've got 19.544 divided by 0.8. So this time I'm going to do that on my calculator, divide by 0.8, and I get 24.43. And because it's rounding 2 decimal places, that already is 2 decimal places, so that is done. Then I've got my second page. So this is quite a long revision sheet. I might stop it after about 10 minutes so that my uploads don't take too long for these videos. Here we've got Tom estimates his shopping bill by rounding the unit price of each item to the nearest whole dollar. He estimates the bill as $45. Which of the following could represent his shop? So we need to go along the line and round each item to the nearest whole dollar and then check if it comes to 45. So here we've got 12.96, so that would round to 13. Then we've got the $4.70 would round to 5. So we've got 3 times 5. Here we've got $8.89, so that would round to $9. And here we've got 95 cents, which would round to $1. So we've got 7 lots of that, which would be plus 7. So that means I've got 13 plus 15 plus 9 plus 7. And we get 44, so not A. Then we go here, we've got 42.36. So it's going to give me 42 when I round that, because that will round down. Then I've got 3 lots of, that would round to 5, 3 lots of 15. Now I know that that's 45. That's going to take me way over my 45. So I know that one's gone just by the start there. Here I've got $12.96 again. So let's look at the difference here. It's looking pretty close, but a little bit lower. So I've got 7 lots of 75. That would all round to similar numbers. So I'm going to cross that one out because that one should be the same as my first one or lower. Here I've got a larger number there. So let's try this one. So we've got $12.96. So that will give us our 13. Then we've got 3 lots of 5, which would give us our 15. Then here we've got plus 10 instead of the 9 that we had there. And 7 times 55 cents, that would round up to $1. So that would be plus 7. So I've got 13 plus 15 plus 10 plus 7. And that gives me my $45. I probably should check the last one as well, just in case. So that would round down and give me 12. That would round up and give me 13. $1.87 will become 2. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 10. And we've got 12 plus 13 plus 6 plus 10 gives me 41. So that's out as well. So D's the answer. Then I've got 2 to the power of 3. So I know that's 2 times 2 times 2. But on my calculator, I've got 2 to the power of 3. And that gives me 8. I've got 9 to the power of 2, which gives me 81. I could also, on my calculator, do 9 and use the little x squared button that I've got there. And then I've got the square root of 144. So that means I'm going to be using my square root sign that you can see here above the x squared. And that gives me 12. You may also know these numbers just if you're good at your number work. Here we've got our 5 take away 8. Now these are similar to the ones at the start, so I'm not going to redo that one because they're at the start of the previous page. Down here we've got negative 36 plus negative 20. So I would say that that is negative 36 take 20. I know that would take me to negative 56. Here I've got 9 take away negative 7. That would become 9 plus 7, which I know is 16. Here I've got negative 13, and that will become plus 9. And negative 13 plus 9 will bring me up to negative 4. Here I've got 5, negative 5 times 17. So I know that's going to be a negative answer. Now, if you weren't sure what the 5 times 17 was, or if you didn't want to set that out fully, you could check that on your calculator and get the 85. Otherwise, you could set it up as 17 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. Put down the 5, carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. And do it that way. Here we've got negative 48. 48 divided by negative 16. We know the answer is going to be positive. And if you weren't sure what that was, you could check the negative 48 divided by 16 and get 3 there. Or you could set that out doing your long division, but we aren't expecting you to do that on an exam either. Here we've got the same substitution questions as the previous page, so I won't redo them, but I will show you how, if you were putting them in your calculator, how you could do that. So we've got 8 take away negative 2, and then we've got multiply by negative 7 plus 3 brackets. So I'm putting all of that into my calculator with the brackets around, and you'll see that gives us our answer of 0 that we got on that first page. Here we've got the same one again. So we've got always remembering to use the negative on your calculator, not a minus. We're multiplying by 10, then we're dividing by negative 5, and then we're multiplying by negative 9, and we get negative 54, which is what we got on the previous page as well. Okay, next page we've got evaluating these expressions. Looks like that's another double up of questions, so I won't go through them again. Let me double check. Yep, same ones again. Must have a bit double up on questions there. Then we've got into some fractions. So which of the following fractions are not equivalent to 12 over 8. Now what we can do is use our calculator here and go 12 over 8, and that gives us 3 on 2. So now we want to check all of these other ones. So it says not equivalent, so 3 on 2 is already gone. Let's check our other ones. So clear that. 6 over 4, that comes down to 3 on 2, so nope, that one's gone. Now 1 and 6 on 12 we know is going to, we can use the mixed number one here, so we can go 1 and 6 on 12. Now we know that's going to be 1.5, which is the same as our 3 on 2, so that one's gone as well. 1 and 2/3, so we can put that in as well, 1 and 2/3, but it already is in simplest form, but it has changed it to the mixed number for us, which is 5 on 3. So that is not the same as 3 on 2. And then our last one was 18 on 12, so we can do the 18 over 12. It'll simplify to 3 on 2, so that one is out as well. Then we've got which decimal has the smallest value. So we're looking at each of these. We're looking for, so this is 3.09, 3.01. So that one's going to be smaller than that one. Then we've got 3.00, so that one's going to be smaller again. 3.0109, that's not going to be smaller than this 3.00, and 3.091, so that is our answer. Then we've got our some fractions. So we've got some adding. 5 over 6 plus 4 over 9. We want the same denominator. 6 and 9 both go into 18. The 6 has been multiplied by 3, so that means we need to do our 5 times 3, which is 15. And 9 has been multiplied by 2, so we need to do our 4 times 2 is 8. 15 plus 8 is 23 on 18, and then we can say 18 goes into 23 once with 5 left over. If you've got a calculator and you always want to check it, we can pop that in and do the check on the calculator. And we got our 23 on 18. If we want to change it to a decimal, it will do that as well, but it won't change to the mixed number for us. Oh, wait, we can probably do it that way. No, that's got our percentages there. Sometimes, oh no, it does, there we go. So if we use this one up here, it will change to the mixed number for us. Okay, here we've got 1 on 3 plus negative 4 over 7. So that's the same as taking away 4 on 7. 3 on 7 both go into 21. I'm going to put the minus between. 3 times 7 is 21. So that means I'm going to have 7 over 21 there. 7 times 3, so I've got to get my 12 there. So 7 take away 12 is negative 5 on 21. Here we've got some mixed numbers. So we're going to change them to improper fractions first. So that's going to give me 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9 over 4. And then we've got, oh, don't want to put them together yet because they don't have the same denominator. We're taking away 1 times 8 is 9 plus 3 is 12 over 8. We're going to put them both over 8. So that means we've multiplied that by 2. We have to multiply the top by 2. 18 take away 12 is 6 over 8, which is 3 over 4. Last page, we've got a subtraction here. So we've got 3 and 5 there, but so we've got our, that becomes a plus, and then we need to take them both over 15. So 3 times 5 gets us 15, so 2 times 5 is 10, that's a negative. 5 times 3 is 15, 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 10 plus 12 is going to give us 2 over 15. Here we've got multiply. Now when we multiply, top times top and bottom times bottom. So 7 times 3 is 21, over 9 times 5 is 45. Then we've got negative 6 on 7 divided by negative 9 on 11. So we're going to make that negative 6 on 7 multiply by, and then we're going to flip this one, negative 11 on 9. So we keep the first one the same, flip the second, and change the sign to a multiply. Some people like to remember the KFC rule for that. Keep, flip, multiply. Change, sorry. Then we have got negative 6 times negative 11 is going to give us 66 on the top, and that's positive. 7 times 9 is 63. So that will be 1 and 3 on 63. We can always do that simplifying on our calculator as well. And so we can also simplify the 3 on 63 to 1 and 1 on 21 as well. Then we've got some Same they look like the same decimal questions again. So looks like we've got a bit of double up there, so I won't redo those ones because they're the same. So we are done.